Hello, I am Stampindede. Let me turn this off. I'm Stampindede, and I am here with you today with the third in a series of the Dying to Know series. And today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite sets, and that's the Grassy Grove. Let me put it out here, the Grassy Grove set. And this set is available in the annual catalog. And let's see, Grassy Grove. It is on page 84 in the annual catalog. Let me bring that up. There we go. Here it is, the Grassy Grove set. It's a bundle. And it includes your stamp set and your dies. And these dies are so fun, and that's why I chose this set to present to you today on Dying to Know. Now, this is supposed to be at 7 o'clock tonight, and I couldn't figure out how to schedule it. So I'm not sure what I scheduled. So if this is going live now, then when you come on at 7 o'clock tonight, I hope you're able to find it and enjoy it. I have a Christmas party tonight, and I knew I wouldn't be able to do it tonight. So I wanted to make sure that it was available to you. So let's get started on this fun set. Now I've already got some of the stamps on blocks, so they're not in here, but these are the dies. Let me see. I meant to make sure I'm visible. And there I am. Good. So these are some of the dies. And this is the tree, a really cool tree cutout die that we're going to look at. And you have several deer dies. This one cuts out your stamped image right there. So that cuts out that one, but these two just cut out these cool little silhouette dies, silhouette deer dies, and they're just really, really cool. All right, so that one cuts out your stamped image. This cuts out your trees, this stamped image. And this one cuts out your grassy little knoll here. Whoops, let me turn it over. It cuts your grassy little knoll, and we're going to use that in several different ways as well. And then you've got these two little pieces right here, and I use them on one of my demo cards. I'm sure that there are multiple ways that these could be used, but I only used it one way. So we're going to look at that. Then you've also got your sentiment stamps, and you've got this little set of tree stamps. And we'll be using this one as well. Your sentiments are, sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. And the inside stamp that goes with that is, that someone is me. Isn't that beautiful? Who wouldn't love that? Then this one says, see the good, and this one says, thank you. All right, so let's get started. Now, this is one of those sets that it's really fun to build a scene, and I love doing that. Now, I know that's not for everybody, and I understand that, but the first card we're going to do is just that. It's a build the scene card. So we're going to do some inking, and with our blender brush, we're going to do some inking with that. And we're also going to use the little finger daubers. So I have one of those for each color, and I use these a lot. So I love my blending brushes, but I also love my finger daubers. And then we're going to use a whole variety of inks, as you can tell. Now, you could use any colors that you want to, any colors at all. So let's get started. We're going to build a scene. And for that, we're going to use the Night of Navy card base, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish that real good and set it aside. And this will be a landscape card, so we'll set that aside. And then we need an outside 4 by 5 1/4 piece for our scene building, and then an inside piece. So we'll set the inside piece aside right now. And we're going to focus on this outside piece. We're also going to need a scrap of white for these trees and a sentiment, which I've already stamped. Sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. And then we're going to cut that out with our snips. But right now we're going to build this scene. So we're going to use crumb cake and garden green. We're going to use crumb cake, which is a brown, and garden green. And so you could use any brown that you have. You could use any green that you have. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to start with the brown, and I'm just going to ink the bottom of this stamp, the bottom part of the stamp with the brown. And I want to get a good coating of the brown. I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to ink the bottom again. And then I'm going to come along with my dauber, my garden green dauber, and I'm going to daub the green on. So I'm just going to daub it on to the top part of this stamp. And I'm bringing it down to the brown, to the crumb cake. All right. And any that we miss, we can daub on afterwards. So I'm going to leave those 2 ink pads open. I'm going to bring in my white, and I'm going to stamp this right along the bottom. Let me move this up. So I'm going to stamp it right along the bottom. And make sure I get good coverage. Just go over my stamp. There we are. Isn't that awesome? Excuse me, my voice is not cooperating with me today. Then I'm going to take the little knoll stamp in here. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put it, let's see, no, I'm going to do one more of these. One more of these, only I'm only going to use part of it. So, and it's going to be this part. So I'm going to do the bottom again, just of this part. Okay, got that done. And then I'm going to come back in again with my green and do my top again. Okay. And then we're going to stamp that right over this. So we're going to create a knoll here is what we're going to do. Okay. So we're going to stamp it right over the top. There we go. And then we're going to come along with this one. And let me grab my block here. And now we're going to create the very top. And we'll do this in green. This will all be green, garden green. And we're just going to come along the top and create a little grassy top. So I'm going to take my garden green and kind of blend this in. You can see that it was a little darker. So I'm just going to blend it in. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these real quick with my chamois so the ink doesn't dry on them, because we will be using, I think, one of these again. So let me clean it with my chamois. All right. Now, before we get started creating our sky back here, I thought I had already cut my deer, but I guess I didn't. So I'm going to use this little bit right here and my deer stamp and put it on a block. And I'm going to do it on the, see if I can work it in here without interfering with my sentiment. I think I can. I think I can do it right there. And I'm going to do it with, early espresso. I did that one with black, but I'm going to do this one with early espresso. So I'm going to just ink him up good. And you want to take a look. Now, this is a distinctive stamp, so parts of it will be darker than others, and that was something that shouldn't have been on there. All right, so let me get ink over that. All right, now I'm going to work him in right here. Right there. Stamp him. There we go. Let me clean him off. All right, and now we're ready to cut him out. And we'll do that with our die. And I'm going to go ahead and close up the crumb cake. But I'm going to leave the garden green open because we're going to use it again. So I'm going to get my deer die. And he's going to go right there. He fits beautifully, and I'm just going to run him through over here so we don't have to move stuff around. Just run him through real quick and get that deer cut out. All right. Okay, so now we have our deer cut to use, and I'm going to go ahead while we're here, and I just cut around this sentiment. So I just kind of followed the outline of the letters, and these snips are wonderful for going around tight places. They just, and they're smooth. All right. Here we go. So now we have our sentiment cut out and ready to put on our card. And I'm going to throw that away. Then the other thing we need to do is get a tree. So again, I'm going to reach over here. Let's see. I'm going to put my trees on a block. The only trouble I have with the trees are getting them straight. So the one you cut out is no problem. But when I stamp them, I have to really work to get them straight. Yeah. So we're going to stamp the tree. See? They're leaning that way now. I tell you what, I tried to lean it because I thought, but it doesn't matter. That's the wonderful thing about this, is it doesn't matter with the die. Because once you cut it, it's going to be straight. So here we go again. I'm going to cut my tree out real quickly. With my cut and emboss machine. All right, we got him. I got it cut. I'm gonna throw that away. There's my tree. Got my tree. Got my deer. All right, I'm gonna put this back in. So now we're ready to build our skyline. And I wanted it to look like a sunset. So what I'm going to do is put my die cut tree right here so that I can do the same thing on it. And what I want to do first is do the garden green on the bottom, because it is going to sit right here, and the green is going to be on the bottom. All right, we got the garden green. Next, we're going to use Daffodil Delight, the yellow. So I'm going to open up my Daffodil Delight and put my garden green aside. Open up my Daffodil Delight. This is my Daffodil Delight dauber. So then I'm just going to come along, right along the edge. And then behind the grass, because the sun has gone down and it's the brightest closest to the horizon. So I think we've got enough of that. And because this is going to sit right here, I need to do some of this in the Daffodil Delight as well. All right. So now we've got our Daffodil Delight. And next we need our Rich Razzleberry. Like I said, you could use any number of colors. I tried to get a purple down close to the base of the horizon, because it seems like purple is one of the colors that you see first. So let's see, my Rich Razzleberry is right here. Here's my Rich Razzleberry dauber. So now I'm going to stamp off, because it's a really dark color, and I don't want it to be, I didn't stamp off on that one, and I should have. Now, I don't want those little circles to show. So now that I've got my color on, I'm going to come along and just kind of smooth that out. And because this is going to sit right here, I'm going to do some Rich Razzleberry right there. All right. So now we've done our Rich Razzleberry. And next we have Balmy Blue. The blue, and we're not going to put very much Balmy Blue because that blue is fading and turning darker. So I'll get my Balmy Blue dauber. And we're just going to come along here with a little line of blue. Just a little line of blue. Not very much. The blue is fading into the sun, and I'm overlapping this. Overlapping my blue and my Rich Razzleberry, because you've got these colors fading into each other. And I'm just going to put a little bit of blue right here. A little bit of blue. Then we get our night of navy. We've got our night sky beginning to form in the background. So we'll get our night of navy, open it up, my night of navy dauber, come along and daub the top part of my trees. Now I want the top part of this to be really dark. So I'm really going to make it dark here at the top. And then we'll fill in the rest of this, coming down to the blue. Okay, now I'm going to try to smooth this out a little bit. The sky has a little bit of a swirly look anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but you can smooth it out some. There we go. All right. So now we have our sky created. Isn't that gorgeous? I love doing that. And I love using lots of different colors too, because, you know, depending on where you are, your sunset may have a lot of different colors in it. Now, we are ready to assemble this. We do need to stamp our garden green one more time over here. Our trees, we need to put some trees right here, so make sure I've got the stamp covered, and put them right down here. Oh yay, I got them straight. Yes, that's a victory. And this one we're going to put on dimensionals. Right on this side. Give it a little bit of depth here. All right. We're going to put those, matching up our colors of the sky. There we go. Right there. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down, and then we'll attach the rest of the other two items. All right, we're going to put it onto our night of navy. Oh, I don't want this to run out. Not now. Later. Run out later. Not now. All right. I need to put a little more right there. All right, let's position this in the center. There we go. And now we've got our sentiment that we're going to put on with dimensionals. And we're going to put that right down here. Let me make sure I got it straight. There we go. Put that right down here. Our deer is going to be sitting up here on the knoll, headed up the knoll. Okay. So he's going to be right here. There we are. So we have our front created, except I did add a few of these adhesive backed stars. I thought, you know, it's about this time of night that stars start appearing in the night sky. And so we want to acknowledge those. So I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool and just pop a few of these stars onto our night sky. So we're just going to put 3. There we go. All right, got that part done. And then we're going to stamp our inside. And what I did on the inside of this one was just put the deer and then that someone is me. Sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. Now, I will tell you that this is the hardest stamp to get straight. That someone is me. I had to redo it I don't know how many times, and I guess it's because I did not get the back on. You know, this part must not be straight because, all right, I'm trying to do it on the block so that, all right, we're going to do that in black. Memento black. Oh, I'm going to put my deer back in here before I lose him. Do you do that? Do you lose your... Oh, I lose mine so easily because I get busy. All right. So I'm going to straighten this guy up and try that someone is me. Well, it's not the straightest in the world, but it'll do. And then we're going to use I'm going to use the soft suede for the deer because I don't want him to be, I want him to be light. So we'll use the soft suede on him. I'm going to put him right here. There we are. I don't like that. Let's try this again. Let me see if I can get his face to show up. All right. Mash down on his face and it should show up. There we go. And that means I get to try this one more time. Ugh. So frustrating. Okay. Okay. That's a little better. That someone is me. And once we adhere it down, the back won't show through. So let's get it down. All right. So now we're going to put that inside. And this card is done. There we go. Isn't that pretty? This could have been a little darker. I think I got this one a little darker than I did this one. But we're good. So that is one way to build a scene with this stamp set. Let me put these back over here. The next card we're going to do is going to utilize this die right here, and I've already die cut it out, but we're using this die and then some of the others as well. So did I make one? Let me see if I made one. I don't think I did. Nope. All right. So I used the Starry Sky paper, and I went ahead and cut 4 by 5 1/4 sheet of that. And we're going, this is soft succulent. And we're just going to put it, we're just going to center it. And we're only going to put adhesive on the edges so we can put these other things in. So I'm just going to do, I didn't mean to put that much. Do a little bit along the edges here. Some of the liquid glue, the Tombow glue. which does a great job. I probably need to put some along the bottom, and I didn't. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put this down. And I want it up against the edges on the sides. Probably can't see that, can you? I want to put it right in front of me so I can see, and then I realize, well, you can't see it if I can see it that well. All right, we have that down. Another landscape card. So we're going to put moon, sun, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put that in there, and I'm just going to put a little adhesive right along the top of that. And I'm going to stick it up under there. And I'm going to push it, push it, push it until it's right there. And have it adhered down. And my deer, I did those 2 silhouette deers that I told you about. And one of them, I think we'll put this one behind the leaves. He's just coming out. This is the mama. So we're going to put the mama behind the leaves. Just put a little bit of glue on the back. See, I just put a little. And stick his legs down in the grass. Scoot him over behind the tree a little bit. And have her just coming out. And then this one, we'll use a mini dimensional on the back of this one, and we'll put her, the baby, in front of them. There. In front of the trees. And we're going to just put her right down here in front. So we've got one coming out from behind, the baby here. We need to put our sentiment. We can put it anywhere up here. So, and it's just a thank you out of this set. Okay. So we're going to put the sentiment. I think we'll butt it up against the soft succulent, not against them. So I need to make sure I have it even. There we go. And I used just a tiny bit of the elegant trim ribbon, and I'm just going to put it with a glue dot right under the sentiment, and that sort of brings out the gold in this Starry Night paper, Starry Sky paper, and the gold foil sun behind, or moon. I guess it's more night, isn't it? The moon behind the trees. So there we go. There's that one, using the outline die, the tree outline die. Don't you love that? All right, and now we're going to use that same one again. And this time we cut out the 2 little deer again. And I have a stash of watercolor papers that I did, or ink splattering papers. So I thought, okay, I'll use one of those. Let's see which one. That's really pretty, isn't it? That's a pretty one. And that one's a pretty one. This one, I think, is just so unusual. It's almost like the Aurora Borealis, right? And this one, that brilliant sunset. You know, I think I like this one because it almost looks like the sun going down there. This one's a little brighter. And if I were doing this live, I would ask you, which one do you like? But since I'm hoping that this gets recorded, I don't know whether it's... Anyway, all right. So I think we'll use this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to adhere it to the watercolor paper, the watercolor background. And you know, you could stamp a background. You could find some really pretty designer series paper and use that as your background. But I have these and I need to use them. So I just chose these to use. All right. And now we've got our silhouette deer. I could have him behind again. I think I will. But I'm not gonna raise him up. I'm just gonna stick him right behind. There we go. There. We're gonna stick him right there. And Mama is gonna be following real close behind her baby, but we're gonna raise her up. You gotta love, but I'm gonna use the minis. Gotta love dimension. Gotta love it. Okay. All right. And we're gonna stick her right here. So I don't think I did a sentiment for this one. I just wanted to show you, and looky there, I've got a little bit that shows. Thought I had covered it all, but I didn't. So we're going to cut that off. So you can see that this will just sit on the black. I've got to trim it off right there too. And put a nice sentiment, and that's all you need to do for this one. All right. The last one is another build a scene. So here's the card. And what we're going to do with this one is we took the knoll or the grassy stamp, and I stamped it on white with the garden green 2 times. And then I used the little knoll die and cut them out. Oh, there's the sentiment for that. So I've got these 2 that are going to go on the bottom of my 4 by 5 1/4 sheet. So before I put them on, though, I want to stamp the background. And for that, I'm going to go back to my large background piece. Only this time, I'm not going to do dirt and grass. I'm just going to do it all in soft succulent. So this is almost a 2-tone, 1-tone, monotone, monochromatic card, because I'm just going to do soft succulent. All right. So I'm going to do one right here. So I need to take it off of my green to do it. There we go. All right, I'm going to do it. And you don't have to go down too far because you're going to cover it up with these pieces that we die cut. So I'm going to get that on. And then I'm just going to do another little piece right here. There we go. Do another little piece. And I think what I did was in the background, I'm going to ink it up again. Ink it up again. stamp it off once, and come along the background. And I think I'll do that right here. And so it'll be lighter in the background. It'll look like it's at a distance. Now we're going to take our tree stamps. Let me clean the garden green off because we're going to use soft succulent again. And we're just going to put some trees in the background here. So I'm just going to put some here and here and here. Okay? And then the other tree stamp, I'm going to use it. This one. And put some trees on the other side. Different kind of a tree. Those trees are leaning. There's been a storm come through. Now, you can see that that tree soft succulent. Oops. Let me find my soft succulent. I thought I had it out here. You know what? I'm just going to use my garden green. But I'm going to use my soft succulent ink and just ink that in a little bit. All right. Got that. And then we are going to put these on with dimensionals. All right. Put these two on with dimensionals. So this one is going to go right here at the bottom. This one is going to go down here at the bottom, and you want to overlap them in the center because you don't want it hanging off the edge. All right, and then we're going to, on our extra white piece, we're going to stamp the trees, and we're going to do that in the evening evergreen because they're up a little bit closer. So we're going to use evening evergreen. Oh, I already did it. Good for me. I did it. It's right here. Evening evergreen, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Instead of putting it over here, I'm going to put it here because that's where my trees were crooked. So I'm going to put them there. We can always fix stuff. You know, and I say this on every video, these are not Hallmark cards. They are homemade cards and individual, each one. So I'm going to put it right here, which makes those trees straight. And I guess I did not do my ribbon, my bow, ahead of time. So let me cut a piece of soft succulent ribbon. All right, and I'm going to tie a quick bow to use. Come on, you can reach it. Tie a quick bow. Oh, I almost, did I? I hope I didn't lose it. No, there it is. Pull it back. Well, maybe I did lose it. I don't think I did. Again, let's tie a quick bow. They're never quick when you're on camera, right? Those of you who do videos, you know. Or if you're doing a class or doing it for somebody else. Well, and now my finger got caught. My skin is so dry, and I put lotion on right before this video. But, all right, this time we're going to get it. We are. There we are. Now pull that one in, tighten it up, pull it in one more time, and tighten it. See, my finger is sticking to that ribbon. All right, and we're going to trim it. And we're going to put our bow right here. And that's going to make those not look so crooked. Right? Put a glue dot on. Put our bow right here. We're good. Good to go. Now, for our sentiment, we're going to use dimensionals for that. And I used the stitch rectangles to die cut this sentiment from the stamp set. All right. We're going to put it right here. And I need to see it if it's straight. There we go. Now for these little leaves, I just tucked them up under my sentiment. I thought that it really added a touch of the greenery. So I'm just adding the tiniest bit of glue. And let's see, let's do this one here. Tuck it up under there. And this one will go the other way. Tiniest bit of glue. And have it right there. There we go. Now, I also used, I don't know if I can get them on now, though. I should have done it earlier. I also used from the Horizon, stamp set. What is the name of it? It's another one that we all love. But anyway, the birds out of that stamp set. I love those birds. So I use them. I use those birds on just about everything I do. But I think I'm just going to do the ones on this side. There we go. So they're flying off in the distance, the birds are. And now we're going to attach this to our card base. Let me burnish that. Now we're going to put this on the card front. Here we go. On this one, that same little stamp, we're going to do our crooked trees again and see if we can get them straight. We're going to do it in the soft succulent. I have a straight issue. I've always had a straight issue. But, all right. I'm going to try to get these. Let's see if I can do it this way. Right there. Once. Okay. Let me stamp it off once. All right. And then our little sentiment. And again, oops, I'll do that in black. And you know what? I did the outside in evening evergreen. So we'll do the inside in evening evergreen. So I better wash this off, clean it off with my chamois. All right, let me see. Oh, no. I have to turn it this way a little bit. There. Okay. Turn it this way a little bit. That someone is me. That's the trick. I have to turn it. All right. Put this on the inside. See where I got ink on it? I always get ink on things too, but I had to turn it over and use the other side. I'm messy. I'm a messy card maker, but you know what? I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it. And I love demonstrating. Oh, I just got ink on there. Can you believe that? Oh, well. My hands. All right, here we go. So let's look at the cards that we made with Grassy Grove. So we've got that one. We've got this one that is sort of made, halfway made. We've got this one. They're all landscape. I should have done a portrait. All right. So we have all of these showing you how to use Grassy Grove. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Stampindede, and if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to help you. And you can find my email address, my blog, all of my information on my Facebook page or on YouTube. And this video will go on to YouTube this afternoon. So please share it with your friends, comment. I would love to hear your comments. That helps me to know what to do and to know who's watching. Thank you. God bless you.